This series considers a number of important issues in bridge resource management. It can be used alongside the Bridge Procedures series, which deals with passage planning, watch keeping, and master-pilot relationship. This video looks at bridge response to emergency situations. Everyone has heard of the shipping accidents that have grabbed the headlines of the world's maritime press. But the world at large never hears about the incidents that were contained and controlled by those on board. By responding quickly and correctly, many emergencies have been brought under control. Injury, loss of life, and damage to the ship have been greatly reduced or eliminated. Although the officer of the watch has a vital role to play in initiating the ship's response to any incident, their primary responsibility remains the safe navigation of the ship.
0800.
Speed about 15 knots and next acceleration will be 2007.
2007.
Yeah, everything is quiet.
Everything is quiet. Maybe. Till the old man comes up.
So I think it's all yours. Safe.
Thank you. And say, take the wheel.
During a watch, the watch-keeping officer is in charge of the ship.
Stay 068.
Most of the time, normal routine work will fill every minute of the watch.
Check, there's a ship on starboard bow, about 2 points.
Yes, I've got strange. She's not showing any side lights.
It is only rarely that emergencies occur.
Must be a crossing vessel, not showing side lights.
But when they do occur, your response as the watch-keeping officer is a crucial component in dealing with them.
Vessel on my starboard bow. This is the eastbound vessel calling. Do you read me over? Get the captain right away. We got a hell of a lot of problem.
How you respond depends on the requirements of your company's emergency response manual. We show here a number of typical examples. Gyro failure. On hearing the alarm, the officer of the watch switches to the second gyro, if he has one. As this has also failed, he switches them both off. At the wheel, he switches off the autopilot and switches to manual steering. Using the magnetic compass, he checks or adjusts the course before calling the master.
Yes, good morning, Captain. The bridge, we have a gyro failure. Yes, I'm on hand steering, yes. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Mate.
On arrival, the captain confirms the situation with the officer of the watch.
Okay, how is the traffic?
All clear.
All clear, okay. We'll have him steady on course on the magnetic now?
Yes, 177
Okay,
magnetic.
fine. I'll send up a helmsman.
A helmsman is called for to relieve the officer of the watch so he can return to navigation.
Wilson? Wilson, I need a helmsman on the bridge on the double. We have a gyro failure. Okay. Chief. Yeah, good morning, Chief. Can you please send up the electrician to the bridge? We have a gyro failure.
The captain requests an immediate investigation of the fault.
Morning, we have a gyro failure. You will have to take the wheel and you'll have to steer on the magnetic. Course is 175 magnetic.
Yes, sir. 175. 175.
The helmsman takes over manual steering and the officers return to navigation. Your company's emergency response manual must be referred to in all emergencies. Steering failure. On hearing the alarm, the officer of the watch checks the panel and finds that the port steering system indicates an overload. He switches to the starboard system and informs the master.
Yes, Captain, the bridge. We had an overload alarm on the port side steering motor. Yes, I switched to starboard one. Yes. Our captain is giving a low oil level.
Unfortunately, the starboard system now indicates low oil level, which means that this must be switched off as well, leaving the ship with total steering failure.
Yes, Chief, good morning, the bridge. We have no steering motors anymore, it's low oil level. That means we have to switch over to emergency steering.
The engine room must be informed, and the emergency steering system must be made operational.
Is informed.
Okay, we slow down immediately.
The ship must slow to the minimum speed at which steering is still practical.
Mister, will you please hoist the net on the control signals?
Yes, Chief, bridge again. We have to slow down. Yes, half speed, yes. Yep.
The hydraulic lines are switched over to facilitate emergency steering.
Morning, Chief Mate.
On this ship, the chief mate is informed and requested to get ready to operate the emergency steering system. The "not under command" day signal is raised.
Chief Mate,
Yes, Captain.
are you on your way to the steering flat?
Yes, Captain, I'm on the way.
Yeah, okay, tell me as soon as you are there. Huh?
Yes, Captain.
A broadcast is made on VHF to warn all ships in the vicinity.
All ships. This is the LNG tanker Metania. The LNG tanker Metania. We are currently not under command. We are not under command in the position 42 degrees, 18 minutes north, 42 degrees, 18 minutes north, 009 degrees, 59 minutes west. Please keep a safe distance of us. We are not under command. LNG tanker Metania out.
As soon as the chief mate is in position, the emergency steering system is checked for correct operation.
Hello, Captain, I'm now standing by in the steering gear room.
Okay, try the wheel, 5 degrees to starboard, please.
5 starboard.
Okay, this seems to be working, okay. Try 5 to port.
5 to port.
In some companies, it will be the mate. In others, it will be the officer of the watch that will go to the emergency steering position. Make sure you know the plan on your ship. The company emergency response manual must be continually updated in the light of experience. Main engine failure. Bridge response to main engine failure is similar in many respects to steering failure, in that the ship is not under command, and this fact must be signalled and broadcast to all ships in the vicinity.
Good morning, Captain. This is the officer of the watch. We have an engine shutdown problem, so could you come up to the bridge?
I'll be up there straight away.
If the main engine fails and the ship's power is provided by a shaft generator, blackout may occur until the emergency generator becomes operative and other generators take over.
Third engineer, this is the officer of the watch. Do you know what's happening there?
Yeah, we have the freshwater circulating pump to the main engine cooling water at trip, and we are not sure why, so we investigate. As soon as we can find out the reason, I give you a call.
Okay, Roger.
Good morning, First Officer.
Good morning, Captain.
What's the problem?
It's the fresh water circulating pump is stripped out, sir.
What's the traffic like?
The traffic is clear, sir. It's quiet.
Good. What about your emergency checklist?
Yes, we've got that, sir.
Good. Ask the helmsman to come on the double and ask not under command signal to be hoisted, will you?
Yes, sir.
Hi, it's the bosun here in the mess room.
Bosun, this is the officer of the watch. Could you get a helmsman up here on the double, and also could you get the not under command signal hoisted?
Yeah, okay, we'll do, okay.
First Officer, can you send this security signal to all ships?
Sir.
Good.
Security, security, security. All ships. This is MV Northumbria. I have lost main engine power in position 49 degrees, 15 minutes north, 8 degrees, 40 minutes west. I am showing not under command signals and ask all ships to keep clear of my vessel. My present course is 080 degrees true, out.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Helmsman. Could you steer 080 degrees?
080. First Officer, can you navigate the ship now and I'll do the rest, yeah?
The officers on the bridge must check that all automatic systems reset and all navigational equipment is working correctly after the power supply is re-established. Fire. The alarm indicates a fire in the engine room. As soon as possible, the bridge must be informed of the fire's location and severity, as bridge response may vary depending on these factors.
Yes, Captain, the bridge. We have a fire alarm in the engine room. It's in group 4. Yep.
Some companies insist on immediate ringing of the general emergency signal. But on this ship, in the case of an engine room fire, the bridge awaits confirmation of its severity before doing so.
No, not yet, Captain.
It will be done. Yes, bridge captain. Yes, chief. Yes. Purifier room. Serious. Total flooding indicated. Okay, we take action. Okay. Mr. Mate, General.
General alarm.
The situation appears serious, and a general alarm is given, indicating full emergency procedures. The exact location and the type of fire will determine the pattern of the ship's response. One thing is true of any fire. A rapid and effective response will minimize damage and risk to life.
Emergency squad, support squad, and hospital squad all make a head count and report to the bridge, please.
This is emergency squad, sir. Everybody's present. Over. Support squads reporting to the bridge. Everybody is present. Hospital squad here, sir. Everybody's present at this muster station. Over.
Okay, fine. Mr. Mate, trip gas to engine and close the engine room ventilation.
Trip gas to engine and close the
This ship
ventilation.
is a methane carrier, and an important part of the response is stopping the gas to the boilers which feed the turbines.
Gas is trip to engine and ventilation is closed, Captain.
Even if there is a serious fire on board, the prime responsibility of the officer on the bridge remains the safe navigation of the ship. Man overboard.
Man overboard! Man overboard! Man overboard! Man overboard! Man overboard! Hey! Man overboard! Man overboard! Hey! Man overboard!
Another bridge! Another bridge!
Yes?
Man overboard!
As soon as the information reaches the bridge, the officer of the watch must release the smoke signal. On this ship, the GPS man overboard button is situated right next to the public address system, so he activates this first, then releases the smoke signal. Next, the steering must be set to prevent the ship injuring the man in the water. In this case, hard to starboard. If possible, all hands on board should assist the lookouts and keep the person and the smoke signal in view for as long as possible.
Man overboard, starboard side,
How
sir.
long ago?
1 minute, sir.
Okay. You are hard to starboard?
Yes, sir. Out to
You released the boy?
Yes, sir.
Original code was
300, sir.
Okay. Chief Mate, go down, prepare the rescue boat. You have a man overboard starboard side.
Okay, man overboard, starboard side. Yes, I will prepare everything and keep you updated.
Hard to port.
The captain assesses the situation, and in this case, he initiates a Williamson turn. The GPS fix will help the master to return the ship to its original position.
We have a man overboard starboard. Take binoculars, spot him in the water. He's now at the starboard aft quarter.
Okay, sir.
Rudder is R to port.
Aft port. Mr. Mate, make a general broadcast over the VHF. Pan, 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 man overboard in our position.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Pan, 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 pan. This is Metania, Lima, X-ray, Alpha, Echo. Man overboard, position 36 degrees, 7 minutes, decimal 1 north, 0 degrees, 16 minutes, decimal 3 west. All ships in the vicinity are requested to keep a sharp lookout.
Over there, over there, over there.
Captain, outside 1 man, starboard side 1 point.
Thank you. Steer 120.
120.
Chief Mate?
Yes, Captain.
Yes, prepare the rescue boat. Man overboard starboard is at the moment fine at the starboard bow.
Okay, Captain, we'll do so, and I will give you a call when we are ready to launch.
Okay.
Search and rescue. Under international regulations, all ships have to respond to distress calls. The call can either be a DSC alert direct from the ship in trouble, or, as in this case, it can come from a Marine Rescue Coordination Centre ashore.
Captain, we've got a mayday. There's a vessel in distress.
Can you plot the position, First Officer?
Yes, sir.
On receiving the details of the ship in distress, the master will establish his ship's relative position to the stricken vessel.
We're 50 miles away, so about 2 hours ETA.
Inform the Coast Guard, will you?
Yes, sir.
The following information should be reported to the rescue centre.
532.
Position,
we received your, distress
estimated time of arrival at the casualty
email.
location,
Respond. We're 50 miles
the
from
type of
distress
ship,
vessel, and,
the course that will be
ETA
taken,
2 hours.
and equipment on board that might be useful in an emergency.
Concerning the motor vessel Sophie, and you say you're about 2 hours from the distress position.
What course do we steer?
We steer 230, sir.
Okay, you steer 230 and I'll inform the Chief Engineer, okay?
Sir.
Chief Engineer, Captain here. We are changing course to attend the casualty. Give me maximum speed, please.
What happens
Stand by
next
for
will depend on the
2
status
hours,
of the
please.
casualty, how close it is to the shore, and what other ships are in the vicinity.
And then after we stand by.
It's possible that the Marine Rescue Coordination Centre, the MRCC, will ask the ship to become the on-scene coordinator with responsibilities for organising the response in the vicinity of the casualty. This may include dealing with aircraft and helicopters. You should refer to the MERSAR and IAMSAR manuals, which contain full information on the subject. Further details are included in the video Search and Rescue Coordination. Dealing with a sudden and unexpected emergency is one of the most demanding situations that ship's officers can experience.
Our position, you are here.
To be effective,
Speed is
officers
broken
need to
control,
know
but
and understand the standard procedures for the emergency and follow them accurately.
Yes, we're there.
Maybe already know.
This means studying the manuals and knowing what you should do in the various emergencies that can arise.
Few page. We are quite interesting about the ISM.
Remember the 4 common principles: communicate, get resources, call the master, and start working to the standard procedure. Good training, including a wide range of realistic exercises, will be essential to ensure that everyone is ready and prepared for any emergency.
Just switch on the battery.
The objective of each exercise needs to be carefully thought out for the training to really work.
Britannia, Lima.
By becoming familiar with the ship's response, the time taken to bring any emergency under control will be greatly reduced.
So we sail to a casualty.
All officers will need to be able to communicate calmly, using the correct common language in issuing instructions and passing on information.
Master station, over.
Okay, fine. Mr. Mate, trip gas to engine and close the engine room ventilation.
Trip gas to engine and close the ventilation.
Instructions must always be repeated to ensure that both people understand what has been said.
Gas is trip to engine and ventilation is closed, Captain.
Good synergistic teamwork by the management team on board, as discussed in the second video in this series, is essential to optimize the response. A team that is comfortable working together in normal circumstances will be able to adapt well to an emergency. Make sure that you and everyone on your ship is ready and able to deal effectively with an emergency. Make sure that your ship will not be featuring in any headlines for the wrong reasons.